Welcome back, everybody, to the Trading Post. Sorry, the co-host is dead asleep right now, and he's going to be pissed if I wake him up. So, I just want to bring this up to you guys. This is episode 9, and we're going to be talking about some interesting stuff today. We're going to be discussing about BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Some of you may not have ever heard of these. Some of you may have. I'm sure some of you have probably heard of at least one of them at this point. And if not, good. That gives me the opportunity to break it down for you and talk to you and discuss to you about these groups. All right, let's start this out. Okay, what is BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street? Well, they are 3 of the world's largest asset managers. Okay, now BlackRock and State Street are both members of NZAM, which I didn't get to find out what that was. I need to look that up. I'm sorry. That's my fault. And a company named Climate Action 100 Plus. Vanguard also was a member of NZAM until December of 2022. So they pulled out of that eventually. The thing is, I don't know what that NZAM is. I'm sorry, I didn't get to look that up. But although I have thoroughly looked at everything else that I could. Okay, who owns BlackRock? All right. BlackRock is not owned by a single individual or company. Instead, its shares are owned by a large number of individual and institutional investors. The biggest institutional shareholders, such as the Vanguard Group and State Street, are merely custodians of the stock for their clients. Okay. Now, the next question is, how is Vanguard different from BlackRock? All right. Its investors essentially own the firm. It can provide most of its services at cost. If the Vanguard Group does make a profit, this money is returned to investors as dividends. BlackRock, on the other hand, is a publicly traded entity, so it prioritizes making money for its shareholders. So basically, it's more active rather than passive, or so it seems. Whereas Vanguard is more of a passive way of doing things. That's just under my assumption and some of the stuff that I've seen so far. But okay, next question is, what is BlackRock known for? Well, BlackRock is one of the world's leading providers of investment and advisory and risk management solutions. So that's what they are known for. And why is BlackRock so powerful? Okay. BlackRock has grown from startup to a market leader by attracting clients and employees and by acquiring several other asset management companies. BlackRock's mission is to create a better financial future for their clients by building the most respected investment and risk management in the world, according to their statement. What is the BlackRock scandal? Didn't know there was one, but well, let's look into this. Let's find out. I do now, since I did research, obviously. So BlackRock is accused by critics on the right of a fervor for green energy that pushed corporations into costly initiatives and, sorry about that. Damn it. Okay. Pushed corporations into costly initiatives and an obsession with ESG that played into its clients losing $1.7 trillion when the markets slid in early 2022. Wow. That's a lot of money. $1.7 trillion losses for their clients. Wow. And they're still afloat. That's insane. Just from my own personal opinion. That's crazy. Um, so let's go ahead and go to the next question, which I wrote down here is who is the biggest shareholder of BlackRock? Who is the biggest shareholder of BlackRock? Well, okay. Oh, man. Y'all, doing this research was interesting to say the least. Okay, who is the biggest shareholder of BlackRock? The Vanguard Group, believe it or not, at 8.22% stake with 12,272,048 shares owned of that company. Then the second investor is BlackRock Fund Advisors, which is them. They own 4.63% stake at 6,912,497 shares owned. Then the next one is SSGA Funds Management Incorporated at 4.12% stake at 6,152,336 shares owned. And I only do the first like 4 or 5, so don't worry, it's not going to be like a whole list of this crap. Temasek Holdings Pte. Limited is the next one in line at 3.41% stake at 5,092,825 shares owned. So those are the top shareholders of BlackRock. Interesting how Vanguard is the top shareholder of them, huh? It's funny how that shit works, in my opinion. Whatever. But who is the biggest shareholder of Vanguard? Now let's dive into this one, should we? BlackRock Fund Advisors is the top shareholder of Vanguard. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sure you guys are just laughing yourself. So the top shareholder of BlackRock is Vanguard. And the top shareholder of Vanguard is BlackRock. Oh my God. What is going on here? We just got started into this. I can't help it, y'all. I gotta laugh. It's just ironic, you know? Okay, got me crying. I'm laughing so hard here. BlackRock Fund Advisors is at 13.82% stake at 44,263,866 shares of Vanguard. Okay? Now, the next one, pardon me, is Dimensional Fund Advisors at 8.16% stake at 26,130,963 shares owned. Now, the next group on the list that owns Vanguard is, you guessed it, the Vanguard Group. And they're at 6.67% stake at 21,362,925 shares owned. And the next one below them is Millennium Management LLC at 5.80% stake at 18,586,378 shares owned. Now, I could have dug in deeper, and I could have went through this whole damn list, and we could have did the top 10 of each. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I got too much other stuff that I had to dig into, and I just wanted to do like the top 4, top 5, whatever, first few, just to give you an idea. Now, if you want to dig into this stuff a little further, trust me, you can go down this rabbit hole. There's a lot of other information you can find on it, but I think I did a pretty thorough job on digging into this research on this one. And you can let me know in the comments. You can, tell me this was a sucky episode or it's a great one or whatever, if you'd like to. You don't have to. All I ask is that you hopefully watch this episode. Maybe you learned something, you have some kind of takeaway from this, and that at the very least, maybe hit the little notification bell. That way you get notified whenever I do another video. And you can pick which ones you want to watch and which ones you don't. It's your God-given right. That's the way I see it. So, Anyhow, let's continue on. What companies do BlackRock own? As expected, BlackRock's top equity holdings include America's most established tech companies, right? Such as Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. BlackRock also has large positions in Nvidia and Broadcom, which happen to be America's two largest semiconductor companies. Wow, that's interesting. And honestly, I'm not touching up on all their every company corporation that they are affiliated with or have controlling stock or whatever. I'm trying to touch up on a certain amount of it, give you all an idea of what's going on with them and what they're doing and how they're not what they're doing, but how far their reach is or isn't. Okay, this is just to give you guys an idea of it because I've heard about this. I've heard people talk about this company. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do an episode on this, and I'm going to check it out. We're going to dig into it a little bit. I'm not going down to. I've got enough rabbit holes I'm going down right now. But I'm going to go down the rabbit hole far enough to give you guys an idea. Okay. Sometimes these things can really stretch you thin when you're doing research, and I don't do this full time, so this isn't like my daytime job. So I don't have 8 hours at any one given point in time to just dig in and do research, or else my episodes would be 2-3 hours long, probably. All right. So let's go ahead and go into so who controls BlackRock? Okay, who controls BlackRock? A man by the name of Larry Fink. He's the CEO and chairman of powerhouse investment management firm BlackRock, one of the world's largest asset managers. Him and 7 others founded BlackRock in 1988. It's been around for a while. A lot of this stuff was all news to me because until I did this research, I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea about it. So, founded in 1988, initially as an enterprise risk management and fixed income institutional asset manager, becoming the world's largest asset manager with $9.42 trillion in assets under management as of June 30th, 2023. So this is fairly current statistics that I dug up. BlackRock and Vanguard significantly influence major media houses globally, essentially choreographing the narratives that reach millions of homes daily, adding another dimension to their influence. These firms have woven complex networks with political corridors and nonprofits. So they have a far wide reach. Okay. Now, I'm not going into some kind of conspiracy theories and whatever on this, okay? I'm just stating the facts. You come to your own conclusion, find your own truth, okay? This is just what I could pull up, what I could find, and dig up. All right, and I hope this may open your eyes to possibilities or help you come to your own conclusions. Some other examples of BlackRock's assets: they own 6.9% of Facebook, 6.45% of Coca-Cola, 5.7% of Amazon, 6.4% of Lockheed Martin, 6% of Philip Morris, and 6.5% of Chevron. Some major players in the games, man. And that's when you look at companies like this. Now, I'm reading off these percentages, and you're probably thinking, "Oh, that's only 5%." Think about this, okay? How much is Facebook worth? I didn't look that up, but I wish I would have now. If I went into deeper with that, we could have seen that. But we all know Facebook's worth a lot of money. We all know Coca-Cola is worth a lot of money. We all know Amazon, Lockheed Martin, Philip Morris is worth a lot, I'm sure, and Chevron. Chevron, absolutely. They're all worth a lot. They're all major companies. Okay. Now, if you own even less than 10% of a controlling of a stake in any of these major companies, that's a lot of shares. Okay, that's a lot of shares in that stake in that company. You're talking a lot of money. Okay, and you can dig into it deeper if you want. You can find out how much each share costs per one if you wanted to. I didn't do that. I'm sorry, but I'm kind of trying to streamline it somewhat and try not to get off the narrative. But it's hard not to sometimes because these things drive you nuts. Okay, how does BlackRock make money? Okay, we're just digging into BlackRock for now, as you can tell. The company operates as a single business segment. The firm derives most of its revenue from investment advisory and administrative fees. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. Also, let me see here. Hold on. I was at the first page. Yeah, okay. Also, Amazon's top 3 shareholders are, you guessed it, Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. As well, Vanguard is the largest shareholder of Walt Disney Company with a 7.49% stake in it, as well as BlackRock Fund Advisors, SSGA Funds Management Incorporated, and State Farm Investment Management. Those are the top shareholders in Disney. And we all know Disney is a big to do, right? What is bad about BlackRock? Okay. Now this, you can take this as it is. I mean, this is just what I pulled up. And if any of this is wrong, please let me know, because this is all entertainment and informational purposes only. Any of my videos, they're all entertainment purposes and informational. That's all this is for our own knowledge. What is bad about BlackRock? Okay, they supply fossil fuel companies with a steady stream of capital. They also invest heavily in companies driving deforestation and back firms that undermine indigenous rights, according to this information that I could dig up, that I found. Now, I don't have any supposed documentation or anything like that I pulled up that I found that backs this. So this could just be hearsay. This just could be somebody that's against them, that just wants to demean them or whatever. You can take this for what it's worth. If you want, you can look it up, try to find out yourself a little bit more in depth about it. Is BlackRock left-leaning? Left of center environmental, social, and governance ESG portfolios have become a major part of their nonprofit and investor portfolios. So that really didn't answer the question, but that's what I could find. Okay. What banks are owned by BlackRock? Now we're getting into the banks. The top 7. Okay. Number 1, J.P. Morgan Chase & Company. Number 2, Bank of America Corporation. Number 3, Wells Fargo and Company. Number 4, Citigroup Incorporated. Number 5, U.S. Barn Corp. Number 6, Truist Financial Corporation. And number 7, PNC Financial Corporation. Just to name a few. Okay. Now we're going to get into Vanguard. Who owns Vanguard? Be nice to know, right? Member Funds owns Vanguard. Now, Vanguard, and this is going to go into a little bit of the beginning of it. Vanguard set out in 1975 under a radical ownership structure that remains unique in the asset management industry. The company is owned by its member funds, which in turn are owned by fund shareholders. With no outside owners to satisfy, they focus squarely on meeting the investment needs of their clients. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Vanguard's mission is to take a stand for all investors, to treat them fairly and give them the best chance for investment success. It prides itself on its stability, transparency, low costs, and risk management. It is a leader in offering passively managed mutual funds and ETFs. Okay, that sounds like that was like their mission statement. According to whatever I pulled up here, that's pretty much what that sounds like. So how does Vanguard make money? Okay, we're going to go into each of these. The expense ratios. Vanguard earns money from the expense ratios of its own mutual funds and EFTs. Expense ratios are the fees paid by investors for investing in the fund. Vanguard's expense ratios are known to be very low, but with so much funds invested, they add up to be a source of income for Vanguard. Okay, now what percentage of Apple is owned by Vanguard? The Vanguard Group is the majority stakeholder as of 2023, which holds 7.6% of all outstanding shares. Is Vanguard better than BlackRock? Both BlackRock and Vanguard are excellent options to build a portfolio around. While Vanguard has proven itself over more than 10 years, BlackRock is off to a great start, and so far its tactical allocation approach has worked well, combining the best of passive and active investing. Now, I do need to add, and I do need to say that I don't know why this information that I pulled up said they're off to a great start. They did start in the 80s. BlackRock did. Okay, Vanguard started in 75. I think BlackRock was, 88? I believe it was. If I'm remembering correctly. My memory sucks. Pardon me for that. But anyways, we're going to go to the next question. Okay, as far as this goes, what are the 4 richest companies in the world? Okay, the 4 richest companies in the world. That would be number 1, Apple. Number 2, Microsoft. Number 3, Saudi Aramco. Okay, Apple, let me go into the stats with it too, because I'm sorry, I'm going through it too quick. Number 1, Apple at $2.728 trillion. Number 2, Microsoft at $2.344 trillion. Saudi Aramco at number 3 at $2.241 trillion. And number 4, Google at $1.640 trillion. Okay? These are the top 4 companies by market cap as of 2023. Now, put that into perspective. All right, you got 4 companies, and they are the 4 richest companies in the world. When you add this together, you're looking at, let's just do a rough addition here, because I didn't do the technical add. You got 2, 4, 6. You got over 7 trillion. In the end, you're looking at probably about $8 trillion net worth in all 4 of them together. Roughly, that's what I'm doing. So about 8 trillion. It may be more, 8 to 9 trillion is what you're looking at. Now, that's a lot of damn money between 4 companies, isn't it? Wouldn't you say? And who has controlling shares in these companies? It's amazing when you start digging in and look up stuff. I'm telling y'all, if you're interested in something, start digging, look into it. I didn't know a damn thing about this until I started digging. And I'm by far no expert in funds management whatsoever, because I probably got $20 in the bank. You know what I mean? So I'm not that expert. But I did dig in. I did find the information. And you can dig in and find what you want and tell me whether I was right or wrong about any of this stuff. Okay? How much money does BlackRock actually have? Okay. Now, BlackRock, we're talking about, has around 9.4 trillion US dollars as of the second quarter of 2023. Wow. Wow. One company, one company is pretty much overreaching the four top richest companies in the world. Hmm. Hmm. We'll just leave that set for a minute and ferment for you. And we'll continue on here in just a second. All right. So BlackRock, which manages pensions of more than 10 million people in the UK, has invested huge amounts in Russian state-owned energy and banking enterprises in recent years. BlackRock also has ownership in SPY SSGA Active Trust. On August 11th, 2023, BlackRock Incorporated filed a 13F-HR form disclosing ownership of 1,442,661 shares of SSGA Active Trust, valued at $639,502,768 as of June 30th, 2023. Now, that's interesting. Okay, let's talk about this. You've probably heard that name as I was going through this information prior to this. So BlackRock owns SSGA Active Trust, right? Wasn't that one of the top owners and shares on certain things we just discussed prior? Huh. That's interesting. Gives you pause for thought, doesn't it? So, what does SPY SSGA Active Trust do? What do they do? SPY is an exchange-traded fund that owns all stocks in the Standard & Poor's 500 index. The S&P 500, that's what we'll call it to shorten it. The S&P 500 is arguably the most important market measure used by investors and traders around the world. So I'm sure that was a big asset for them to get ownership of. Wouldn't you say? Now let me read that one last time so it sticks to you. The S&P 500, okay, is arguably the most important market measure used by investors and traders around the world. Wow, this stuff blows my mind. I can't even fathom like the amounts of money that we're talking, the importance and the reach that these companies have is unfathomable to me. Sorry about that. I just can't even grasp the scale myself because it's just as a poor dumb hillbilly, I don't know any better. I don't know no better. Trillions of dollars. I've never seen that kind of money. Never will. I'm sure most of us won't. But yeah, let's continue on because I do got another page or so. I don't want to extend this too damn long. Here's a note. Another BlackRock executive is joining the Biden administration, adding to the close ties between Wall Street heavyweights and the seat of power in Washington. That's just a little nugget for you. And here's another note. Headquartered in Pennsylvania, Vanguard is the largest mutual funds issuer in the world and the second largest issuer of exchange traded funds. It has 203 U.S. funds and 227 international funds as of the end of 2022. The firm boasts more than 50 million investors for Vanguard. Now I know you all are wondering, well, what about State Street? You haven't heard nothing about them yet, huh? Well, there was a lot of information on the other two. That's why. So let's go ahead and dive into State Street and find out what the hell it's all about. So, well, State Street is a global financial services and banking holding company headquartered at 1 Congress Street in Boston, Massachusetts, with operations worldwide. It is the second oldest continually operating United States bank. Its predecessor, Union Bank, was founded in 1792. According to my information, the current CEO is Ronald P. O'Hanley. The CFO is Eric Aboaf. The CIO is Brian France. Just a little bit of information I dug up that I could find. So, what does State Street do? State Street provides core investment custody, hedge fund or investment securities accounting, fund administration, securities finance, and transfer agent services to institutional clients like those named above. They handle assets from many classes, including stocks, derivatives, exchange-traded funds, fixed income assets, private equity, and real estate. That's what they do. So who owns State Street? Well, State Street is owned by, you guessed it, BlackRock. Whose largest shareholder is Vanguard? Don't get done hearing them names, do we? How does State Street make money? Okay. Investment servicing, which is in 3 segments. Number 1, asset servicing, includes the fee earned by the bank for serving as the custodian of financial assets on behalf of institutional investors, foreign exchange, and other trading. It refers to the revenue from trading services and securities, financing securities. Also, State Street was ranked number 1 in real money market share. Note, what is a securities and finance? So this will help you maybe understand what I just was saying. The term security is defined broadly to include a wide array of investments, such as stocks, bonds, notes, debentures, limited partnership interests, oil and gas interests, and investment contracts. Okay? So, yeah, that's where we're at with that. Now, who are the largest shareholders of State Street? Let's find out. Number 1, Vanguard, with 37,433,706 in equities at 11.75%. Dodge & Cox with 18,129,710 in equities at 5.690%. Number 3, BlackRock with 9,902,067 in equities at 3.108%. And number 4, Invesco Advisors with 6,669,643 in equities at 2.093%. Okay. There we go. The top 4, you got 2 names we've already heard. Time and time again. What the hell's going on here? I just got to scratch my head on this one. All right, who regulates State Street? The Federal Reserve Board regulates State Street because they're in the banking industry. All right, now, what companies does State Street invest in? Okay. All right, let's get into this. They invest in NVIDIA Corp, with 91.51, I believe, million shares. I'm trying to think of what that is. Damn it. If I'm wrong, please correct me, for God's sake. I am human. I do get things wrong. But I found this information. And it was all these statistics and stuff. So you got to filter through them. 91.51, we'll just say million shares at 2.0330%. Number 2 is Apple Incorporated with 578.90 million shares at 5.8972%. And number 3, Microsoft Corporation with 293.61 million shares at 5.2512%. And number 4, Amazon with 335.87 million shares at 2.2995%. Okay, let's see here. Wow. 3 out of 4 of these companies we've heard several times already, haven't we? Now, NVIDIA, I don't know if you understand or if you even heard of them, but NVIDIA, they do like graphics cards for computers. I'm sure they do a wide range of other things, but that is the one thing that sticks out to me. So they're a tech company as well. So you got 3 tech companies and Amazon. You know, wow. This just keeps repeating itself. And is this fucking Groundhog Day? Pardon my French. It sure seems like it. Anyways, let's continue on. State Street Corp is disclosed 4,675 total holdings in their latest SEC filings. Most recent portfolio value is calculated to be $1,904,099,129,477 US dollars. That's State Street's worth. We're not, I just can't fathom these numbers, man. This is ridiculous. All right, between these 3 giants, they own many other major companies by having controlling share of stocks invested in places such as Amazon, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Alphabet, IBM, Facebook, AT&T, just to name a few. All right, that's just a few. This isn't. Now, I could be wrong on some of this information. If I am, please correct me. I'd be glad for you to correct me. Now, okay, this is the ending statement here that I have for you guys on this one. Well, may not be the ending statement. We may go a little longer. So everyone, what is your thoughts on these companies? What do you think about it? Okay. What do you think is their end game, or is there even an end game here? It seems crazy that these 3 companies have control of so many companies, organizations, etc., and their reach is far and wide in this. Is this concerning for any of you out there listening in? It's kind of concerning to me. I mean, I'm not saying that they have if they have controlling stakes in major food companies, in the food industry, major technology companies, major banking companies, and not only here, but globally. Now, think about that for a minute. They have a wide reach. Wide. Now, I'm just giving you the factual information for you all to come to your own conclusions. All right? This is for you guys to figure out what you think. Find your truth. If you want to dig into it deeper, you can find out more stuff. I am certain of that. This is just what I found. So, now don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying they have ill or malicious intent, because I do not know that for certain. I don't know. I can't say that. We can come to conclusions and assume all we want. All I'm saying is that with a few companies owning so many major companies is concerning due to the power and control they have. To me, it's just scary. I don't know about you, but to me it is scary to know that several companies have such a wide reach. Okay? So in closing, I want to tell you guys this. Get your gears grinding. Okay? Think about this stuff. Let it set, let it soak, let it marinate. Come to your own conclusions. Come to your own truth. And if you want comment, let me know what your thoughts are on this subject. It's a little bit scary and unnerving to me, personally. But like I said, I can't say that they have any ill will or malicious intent in any way, shape, or form. I give you the facts. I let you have them and do with them what you will. And as I said, this is all for entertainment and is educational purposes strictly. Okay? I hope you guys enjoy some of these videos that I've been doing. I have fun making them. I have fun digging up the information and trying to present it to you in a manner where it's fairly easily digestible. Some of this stuff is a little over my head and it kind of fumbles me up sometimes. And as I said, I'm still new to this, so I'm growing, I'm learning. And if there's any hints or tips or anything like that that you want to throw out there for me to improve, please do so. I can take criticism. I ain't no sissy. So, in closing, that was episode 9, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. And I hope you guys found this informative. Okay? And I appreciate you guys for watching. I continue to try to make it interesting as I can every episode. Sorry the co-host was passed out and I wasn't waking him up to this time because he might get mad at me. He may bite me and I don't want that. So you guys have a great day, evening, whatever time it is you're watching this. You have a great one. All right? Find your truth. You have a great one. This is the Trading Post out.